Well, I'll go ahead and start. I'm Dearman. I'm 42, have 3 kids, just sent my first one to college. Um, we are in a church of about 600 to 700 in West Branch, Michigan. Chad and my husband's a senior pastor. We started with 20 people in a very small town. And I have basically started the children's ministry years ago. We had a children's pastor. You probably know her. She's done some camps and stuff. Corey Del Rio, she was our children's pastor. She left been a year in July. So I'm leading the children's ministry with 15 people, and it's actually pretty healthy right now. I've got a ton of people involved and just teaching all of that. I don't have a movie character. If I think of anything, I will share it with you.
Okay. All right. No problem.
Okay. I am Kristen Atkins. I have 5 kids, all girls, so that's really fun. So I serve at South Bend Church, and we're in South Bend, Indiana. Our church, so I don't know, adults, we probably average like 250 on a Sunday. And kids, I serve in the Sunday kids ministry, and we probably average 30 or so kids in just kindergarten through 5th grade. So I don't do much with like nursery age kids. It's like kindergarten through 5th grade is where I serve. So I am the coordinator for Wednesday night program. So that's kindergarten through 5th grade, boys and girls, but we have like Impact Club and Rangers and then Rainbows. So with all those kids, we probably have about 50 between all of those kids that come. So I ended up stepping into that position because our coordinator that did that, she ran the club for like 14 years. And it was just time for her to step away. All her kids kind of gone through. So there were actually a couple of years where she stepped down and they were just waiting for somebody to come in. And I was so heavy working in Sundays that I was like, I can't, that's what I did. So I was like, it didn't even seem to me like that was where I should be. So it took a couple years even before I was like, well, I guess, do I do this? So, and it kind of is close to me because having all girls, it was really important because if we didn't find somebody to do it, we would have went back to boys and girls mixed together. And I was like, that's not, it's really important for them to have separate time with just a girls class and just, so anyway, so it kind of just hit me. I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. Let's see it. Let's see how it goes. So, so this is my first year doing that. So yeah. And a character, yeah, that's a good one.
Wonder Woman.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I relate more to, not in a bad way, but more towards Cinderella, like just, or like, like doing hard work and like always, cleaning. I clean a lot, so I feel like I relate more to her than anyone else at this point.
Hi.
Hi.
My husband.
My husband's in the background yelling at me too.
That's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, if anything, I would say, but not in a bad way. More so, like just I don't know, just getting in and doing the work. Like not as scared to get dirty. Doing stuff. So I don't know.
Awesome.
That one.
Excellent. Yeah, that's great. Think of a character yet, Andrew?
Nothing.
All right. I am Kenny Cheeseman. I work at Brightmoor Christian Church, which is in Novi, Michigan. Are you familiar with Brightmoor?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
I think I've been in the building before. I'm familiar with the shopping around Brightmoor.
We do have a pretty good mall. The 12 Oaks Mall. 12 Oaks Mall is a pretty good mall. It's popular. I have been here. January will be my 5th year. And I am one of the children's pastors. Here we have 2 children's pastors. So I'm one of them. And I primarily am just with the K through 5th grade too. So I really don't help with, I help, but I don't really do anything with the early childhood birth to 5 years old. Once they get to kindergarten, you're with me, guys.
That's right.
So I am all about the K through 5 grade. I oversee our Wednesday nights too, our girls ministries. We actually just did away with the Honor Star program.
Yeah.
We just didn't have it, which is weird because typically you'd be like female heavy, and I had no girls that wanted to come and be a part of this program. So I didn't do it. So now I've got one female that just kind of does a Wednesday night girls ministries Bible study, which is catered to them. And it works great. The girls love it. Leaders love it. I'm happy. And then as far as a character, this is going to sound weird, especially since I got a beard right now. I'm just prepping for the winter. It's actually Peter Pan. And just because I'm a dreamer and I love to be it's not by chance I'm in kids ministry, because I love to have fun. I love to play. I am a father of 3 kids myself. I've been married almost 9 years. November will be 9 years. And I have a 6-year-old, almost 7-year-old, a just turned 5-year-old, and a super ridiculously rolls for days, almost 9-month-old. And so I am still kind of young in the game here, but I love it. My 9-month-old has been screaming for hours the past few nights, and I'm in that stage. So you're talking about sending them to college. I am at least a decade and a half away. So yeah, we have we have about 450 kids on an average Sunday.
That's amazing.
It is crazy sometimes. So, but our average is about 450 kids on an average Sunday. That's both services, and that's birth through 5th grade. We've got 2 rooms. We split our kindergarten and 1st grade, and our 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade rooms, almost down the middle. And so that could be anywhere between 90 to 115 kids in a room at a time. And whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's pure joy, and other times it's, let me just get through the day. First service is done. Now on to second service.
Right.
So man, I'm curious, just another kind of question off the bat. How did you come to discover Hydrate, and what has it so far? How has it been good for you guys?
I think I saw it scrolling through Facebook, an advertisement. I think that's where I saw it. And I just immediately signed up because we had just gotten done with our staff work away, and we were talking to all of us about really getting connected to something. And I was like, it was like literally the next day I signed up for it.
That's awesome.
I think I ended up seeing it through the newsletter. Like, I got the email about the newsletter that came out somewhere along that, or it led to the Facebook page and saw it there, but somehow it was something that came to me and then followed through it. So.
That's awesome. Have you guys gotten through everything pretty good? Everything makes sense except for the app.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I haven't used the app yet. I really just use my laptop mostly, but
I guess I'm like, is it? I don't know. All I've seen is the stuff on the app for September, and then I started October, and my app cleared right out. Am I missing something else other than connecting on Facebook?
No, so the Facebook group is a great place to go to ask questions and obviously talk with everybody who's in that Hydrate. So anyone who's in a Hydrate, Huddle, from all over the place is in that Facebook group, which is a great place to connect. As far as online, I have not had much luck with the app. But what you should be seeing is essentially it's 4 sequences for a month, and each one's got maybe a different video, a different speaker. It's kind of got the notes from the speaker, a worksheet you can work with. But if you're seeing all that, then you're seeing all that you need to see.
Okay, and that's what I had on the app. I just got to call Patty. She said she thought she could fix it, and I missed that appointment with her. So.
Yeah, I know when I use the app, it just never would connect to the Hydrate.
Where do I go online to get that information? Or
to connect to the via like a computer?
Yeah.
I will email you the link.
Okay, good.
All right, so I will write that down right now. I'll email you that link. I find the browser to be way easier. Plus, you can see it all in one spot.
Yeah.
You can ask questions, tons of stuff. But that's me. And obviously, okay. That she used it as well. So I've been in Hydrate now for like 6 months, 7 months. Oh. So yeah, I have a whole nother Huddle video that I have where I am a participant.
Nice.
And it's fun. Yeah. So if you have any questions as far as Hydrate so far, everything's making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Well, then we'll just jump into some of the questions. So I'm curious. Email Angie. Let me finish my sentence before I forget. So we're just going to kind of go through some of the stuff we've talked about and, just to kind of help each other. Maybe you've got some great ideas that I've never thought of, and I might have an idea that you don't have. I don't know, but that's what's part of it. So our first video was a Stay Fresh video where Pastor Kelly talked about the importance of really refreshing yourself. And, life can be so busy. We can be super busy doing the things and forget the most important aspect of our life and ministry. And it's important to stay spiritually connected to Jesus. What are some of the things about your life and ministry that you found to be successful to stay connected to or to stay fresh spiritually?
Definitely being in the Word. That's just our routine, being in the Word every morning.
That's awesome.
Not really, I guess the depth of my devotion every day is just sitting there reading until I just walk away with one point. So that's huge, being in the Word and having that total connection to God all day, every day.
That's awesome. Is that, now I'm just curious, is that something that you've built into like a daily routine? Like it no matter what, this is how I start my morning?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like that's just what we do.
That's good. I love it. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got to have an hour of coffee, so might as well read the Bible too.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm the same way. So it hasn't always been a routine for me, I always wanted it to be a routine for me to wake up first thing, and the goal to wake up before my kids, which never happens. So, but waking up and then reading my Bible while I drink my coffee and eat my breakfast, and just have the whole thing. But then a lot of the times, our church, they've started together doing using the YouVersion app and completing plans together. So then that has kind of gotten in. So it's really cool because you can do it with other people that you know them and you trust them, so you can hear their opinion on what we just read and like how they interpreted it, so you can see it different ways. And that really helps me kind of learn more and like spread it out in a way that I wouldn't have thought about that, or I read it this way, but then they're seeing this, so
that's awesome.
I learn more stuff and see it different ways. So I think it's definitely becoming more of a routine, but there definitely are days where we wake up and it's like the kids are going to miss the bus, and now what am I going so then it kind of throws the whole day off, but just have to take those days in stride and keep moving.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I love that you brought up the Bible app. I have been doing that this year with two guy friends of mine, and the same exact thing. We started at the beginning of the year. It was the Bible throughout the year, and then all three of us get to, and then there's like another part of the commitment is if we didn't see that you posted something by the end of the day, hey, go ahead and text us and say, hey, how's your reading today? So it's been great. It's just been great. And then to hear what these two guys that I get to do life with, how they're perceiving the scripture of the day. So that's I love that you said that. That's something I get to do too. And that has been so rich for me this year, especially with just like a new baby, a whole different, whole year is a new season of change. It's like, it gives you peace. It gives you patience. Like when you've woken up and you've gotten that word, that first part of the day, if it's a good word and you know it and you've received it, it's almost like nothing. It doesn't matter what happens today. I'm ready. Like,
Right.
Let's go. That's awesome. Great. So here's another question. When you aren't closely connected to the vine, as it says in John 15, what do you find yourself relying on to minister? Do you use your talent? Are you somebody who's just really fun and can use your energy? Is it the relationship aspect between you and children? They just know they can rely on you to give them something good? Or is there something that you have a go-to if you're not maybe getting connected? Now, it seems like both of you guys have been pretty connected, so maybe that doesn't even matter at this point. But I'm just, what do you think?
I think that everything you listed right there, it is so easy to go into any service, any class, doing it because I've done it for so long. So I think that's such a danger weekly.
Mm.
I focus on prayer and God, what do you want from this? And God prepared their hearts for this time, because all of those things, whether it be, I mean, you can get crazy with them, and it's just sometimes. I mean, kids ministry is fun because it can be challenging, but then it's easy. It's easy to have fun. So yeah, I think all of us need to rely.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, I think for me, it's so easy for me to help or to rely on the people around me. So like Sundays is really fun because the children's pastor that's over Sundays, she's so fun, like all the time. I love working with her. So when she starts the morning and is like, "Hey guys, it's so good to see all of you," it automatically turns it on. So it's like, we're ready to go. But then we do and we don't have nearly as many kids as you do. So it's easier for us to have a one-on-one type of relationship with most of the kids and like knowing their parents. So, for us, it really starts at check-in. So, when I'm on check-in and they're coming in, then it's like, as soon as they walk in, it's like, use their name and just be so excited to see them, like genuinely happy to see them. And, if you remember something the week before, then you're asking them, how did this turn out, or how was school, or your teacher, or whatever. Just knowing that, you really do care for them, you're so excited. Like we only had church today, so that one person would come, so just making them feel really special. So I think that helps, just having the relationship, because then they trust you, and then it's easy for them to have fun with you, when we're playing games and doing all that stuff. So
that's awesome. Great. Is there what would be one thing you guys took away from the video with Kelly, from the Stay Fresh video? Was there any one thing that maybe you took a note and said, "Man, that's what I'm walking away with today. That was for me. He's speaking to me."
Mm-hmm. I would have to say, because we've done this for so long, and we have been in the unhealthy place. Like, definitely my takeaway is I'm very happy with, just how my husband and I are so careful to take time away. And I mean, good long vacations. We've learned this is so healthy for us.
I'm so jealous.
And then what was that?
I said I'm so jealous.
I know we took 3 weeks this summer, and it was.
Oh man,
it was life-changing.
I am envious right now.
Oh yeah, you know what? My husband used to encourage me, babies will grow up. So, but the other thing too. Oh, there was one other thought I had. I'll come back to it. It flew out. So go ahead.
I was trying to find my notes from mine. I have the notes from the last one, but I'm sure there's something that I've written down. I know one of the biggest things that I struggle with, and our pastor is actually like our lead pastor. He feels really strong about this for all of us, like anybody who's like ministry directors or staff, for us to take a day off, because I don't. And I'm still working on trying to figure that out, because outside of doing children's stuff, I have a lot of responsibilities that I do just for church in general. So like marketing and like event stuff that we have. So it's always really busy. So, but there's always something going on. So it's really hard for me to pick a day and protect that day off. But our pastor, he's really good at it, but he encourages us to do the same thing. So I think if anything, that's probably my biggest thing I can work on, is just protecting one day that has nothing to do with what's going on at church. So
that's awesome.
Just being home, so.
Angie, I'm curious, just because you said you've been doing this a lot longer, and you've kind of built some of these things into your routine. Like early on, how did you protect that? Like, what are some?
We have always, since we've done this, we've always had a day off. And I mean, when we were youth pastors, I'm from Michigan, but Chad, my husband, from New Mexico, and so we were youth pastors in Mexico for quite a while. And that was, under that pastor, everyone had a day off. The staff members, their full-time staffer. He was, and I was the wife. So, but we started then, and we took the day. We used to go to Albuquerque and see his parents, which was a 3-hour drive. But so that was kind of how we started ministry. And I don't know, we've always taken that day like, and we're not talking ministry because it's so easy because we work together. Everything is church. Everything. I mean, that's our life is our church. And I don't know. We just always made a point to take that day. Vacation, solid vacation.
That's awesome. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think I like to work, and that is very hard for me to do. And and in the past couple of years, especially this year, I know that the importance of it has been even greater because my day off means that my wife gets help. And that's important. More for her than even for me, but to understand for me how important it really is. And man, apparently we've got 10 minutes left. So it just told me here. So it's great. I know for me, man, that day off and it just changed. I've had Mondays off for the past 4 years. And then 2 weeks ago, it's now Fridays. And so I'm still getting used to Friday now. It makes sense to have a Friday, but man, it's hard because I just want to, there's still so much to do.
Right.
And
I can't agree with you more. It's like I was the same way for a long time, and sometimes I'd want to do stuff, and I think it was more even my husband talked me into like, hey, we got to take this off, and I couldn't even justify why am I taking this time off. But then when I take a solid day off and come back, it's like I'm so much pressure, like for creative and everything. And whether it's a lazy day where I do nothing or I've got teenagers, so like there's no slowing down going to all the athletic and theater and all that. But it's something different. So church is fresh when
that's awesome.
Come back. Yeah.
Love it. Well, thanks for sharing that. It's I know for me, I am trying to work hard on I don't want to say like really making that a Sabbath. Don't call me, don't email me, because unfortunately everything is connected to this. And if you email me, I can't help but not reply.
Yeah.
So just don't.
And I think I do, because we're over so many different things here. I mean, it's like children's a huge part of what I do, but I like all the finances. I mean, we do everything. I mean, we've got a big staff. So I'll respond to people, but it's just, I don't know, it's just not as stressful as it used to be.
Oh man, I need to check out.
But then a lot of people have they don't bother us on our day off because everyone on staff it's Friday. We take the day off. So it's like they know staff on Friday. It's pretty relaxing.
I love it. That's great. All right, well, let's move on to the second part. So the 8 goals that Kelly talked about for ministry. Did you guys, what I'm talking about, the 8 goals video? Did you get to that? Okay, so there's another video that talks about the 8 goals of really the AG Kidmen. And this came from, maybe it was David Boyd. And these 8 goals are really kind of the core that the AG Kidmen believes in. So I'm going to say them off. And then what I really want you guys to think about is, do these 8 things, or is there anything of these 8 that maybe you don't have a high priority in, or maybe there's one man, we really could do that a lot better. Or maybe there's a couple that, we're really excelling in this. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. So the 8 of them are, the first one is powerful in prayer. Just awesome. So that's that our leaders are stating that, hey, we believe powerful in prayer. Second one is responsive in worship. Third one is biblically fluent, which is huge these days. Fourth one, spirit empowered. If I'm going too fast, please tell me. The fifth one, actively serving. Sixth one, bold in faith. Giving selflessly. And then the final one that our leaders are saying is living like Christ. Great, absolutely great goals. Great core beliefs to stand on. And so, what do you think? I mean, how does that How do you guys how are you reflecting that? Maybe this is already your 8 goals. Do you have goals for your kids ministry? They're huge to have. And that's kind of what the point behind this was, is having goals. And here's some 8 good ones that we could start with.
Our church, just over the past year, for the adults, he did a whole series on these 8 goals. So they made like those big banners, and so those were all. We actually had service in the gym because they were remodeling the sanctuary. So it was a whole thing. So while we were in there, so those banners were all around. So he did, one focus a week and talked about it. So I think in our church for children's ministry, prayer is definitely a big deal. Worship is also a really big deal. So we focus on Sundays and Wednesdays. We focus on teaching them about worship. So not just having fun time to just sing with your friends, but more so like why we worship, what it looks like when and a lot of the times it turns into more of like what it doesn't look like, because with kids, and they give you that example. So if they're sitting down, slumped in their chair, that's what it doesn't look like. But this is
great.
So we teach them that. And then biblically fluent. So we've, my husband and I really have been trying to help supply a lot of the, or Bibles for kids who don't have them, but the Fire Bible. So along with the Fire Bible, Kayla is our Sunday children's pastor. They introduced the Bible backpack. So we got one of those for every family unit. And again, our church isn't that big, so it's easier for us to do that, right? So we probably have like 20, maybe 25 or so family units. So, like each kid doesn't get one, but like, my 3 girls that are in K through 5 will share one. But we have, I wish I had one next to me to show you, but so what she does is she picks 20 questions and prints it front and back on the sheet. So we focus on these 20 questions for 2 months, but we quiz them all the time. So on Sunday service, we go through these questions, but that's why we've been pushing the Fire Bible, because the Bible Fact Pack cards connect and show you what page to look in your Fire Bible. So the biblically fluent was a big deal. So we actually, during that series that our lead pastor was doing, we had all of our kids come downstairs into service, and we just called, or we asked questions, and the kids would just call out the answer. And I cannot tell you how amazed all the adults were. Like, oh my gosh, my kid knows the answer to that. And especially when the adults are in the service sitting there and they didn't know the answers to some of them, or like, really hard questions,
Wow.
So the biblically fluent, obviously. So I would say for us, those would probably be the top 3. But, they all kind of mix in, and like the actively serving, they see us doing it. So we always talk about it too, but it's more so like they're seeing us actively serving and doing things at church, or like cleaning up, or just little things that we can do. But that's something that I want to work more on for Wednesday nights, especially because we have more specific groups. So one of my goals that I have is I really wanted to shoot for every month, but it might be too much, but at least once a month doing something together that we're actively serving somewhere together, or doing something. So whether it's even just, cleaning up in the kitchen after, because we have a women's group that they eat every Wednesday. So they all make food together. It's a big deal. So even, just something small, but that's probably my goal, is to do more about actively serving. So trying to find something to do.
I love it.
But I don't want to overwhelm the parents either, because a lot of stuff has changed. So trying to ease into it without scaring people away. So
we're about to be disconnected. Just want to throw that out there.
We're awesome at all this stuff. We have a separate list. It's like 12 things, and we filter everything through it that we do. We do our monthly team meetings when we're planning. So our list of 12 things that we want every 5th grader to know before they leave us, we kind of filter stuff through it, curriculum, service order, mission.
That's awesome.
So is it just going to cut us off?
I think it will. So let's pray. Hey, I just want to say thanks so much for being here today. We'll encourage you to hydrate, continue to jump in. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. I'm here to do whatever I can to encourage you guys. Ask questions, help with, if like you've got some great stuff today. And I'd love to share that with everybody, because that fact pack thing and what you're saying about the 12 steps, there are other people that may not have thought of that. Those are just so great, and it can be so encouraging to one another. So thanks for sharing that today. Let's pray, and then I'll shoot an email out in a few minutes. Kind of fall up. Here we go. Jesus, thank you so much for our meeting today. Lord, bless Angie and bless Kristen, Lord, and thank you for our other Huddle group members that couldn't be here today. And Lord, we just ask that you continue to just give us fresh vision and fresh anointing as we continue to lead the ministries that you've allowed us to be a part of. So Lord, we give it all to you. Keep us refreshed and renewed so that we can continue to do everything you've called us to.